Hello and good morning, my friends. This is Marta here, and welcome back at my YouTube channel. I'm coming back to you with another lovely card, and I just want to say my mom's birthday are coming shortly, so I've decided to make a super special project for her. I will be making some nice cards, but I just want to show you the cards I was inspired by. So this is the cards I've made before, and they probably already listed on my eBay, but when I was just getting those cards ready, I thought they look so nice and I want to make something super special for my mom, something when she look on a card she'll know it's a labor of love. So that was my kind of a inspiration for the card for my mom. And I'll just quickly show you the dies I'm having for today's project. I'm actually gonna be using mostly the creative expression die. I want to make the same border on the both sides, and I use this mini Gemini Indus die, and I just do the partial cutting just so I have a little bit longer strips, because the card I am planning to use, it will be 8 by 8 size, so I wanted to make sure I have enough space for the strips are long enough so they will match the card, because if you look on it, this die is actually a little bit shorter than what I need. So I cut it twice partially, and I'm having this underlayer and this little lovely lacy pattern paper. I use the pattern paper, the one I use, it's called Magenta. It was 12 by 12. I only cut a little strips from the sides. So it was 12 by 12 from company Magenta, and the paper itself, it's called Peacock Blue. So that's what I'm using. And I've got some striplet lattice window die, which I want to use because I'm planning to actually do the easel card, so my mom could like put it on a shelf and it will be displayed nicely. I'm also using those frames and tags, cold grease, and I have some butterfly die. And I'm also gonna be using a couple leaves and some letters to make my sentiments. I already cut a few of them in a gold color cardstock, so I could glue them on top, one on top of another one, and just to give them a little bit dimension. I have 3 letters from each I need for making the sentiment. And this is my card base. I'm also having, just to show you quickly, I've already cut a few leaves. I still need to cut a few more, and I'll be making those lovely gold touch leaves with the help of the spray. Actually just finished recording a voiceover on a video, and the video is just uploading. I print myself a little sentiment. I printed twice because I wasn't sure which one I want to use, the darker shade or the lighter one, because I want to match it with the cardstock. I think this is gonna be my color combination, the greenish tone along with the pink and with the touch of the gold. So I want to make the card look really like springy and happy, so this is the color combinations. I just want to quickly show you that pink pattern paper I'm using. This comes from this amazing paper pad called the Flowers Blooming. It's from the workshop, and look on the price, it's £3, unbelievable. And I'll just quickly you know, put you through. Oh, look on those birdies, they're amazing. It's such a nice designs, and you've got 2 of each pattern paper. I still have got one more page, I think, from the, where was that, the strip pattern paper. It was somewhere over here, but oh, this is it. So I use one, and I still have got another one. And this piece, that was a 12 by 12, I cut it half, so I've got enough for the card, and maybe I'll use a little bit for the box as well, I don't know. But it's just, you cannot go wrong with this price. So on top of that, what else I'm having? Oh, I've got tons of stuff today because I wanna, as I said, I just wanna make the card look nice. I've got this little piece which I will use for the stand of the easel card. I'm also having this cardstock. Oh, there's a spot here, but it doesn't really matter. I've got the sage color gold cardstock, and one thing I want to tell you, interesting fact, can you see that golden cardstock is actually a little bit smaller than the A4 size one, and I've bought it on the auction, on a listing on eBay, and this was left over from some company selling it as just a waste product of them cutting their own cardstock like to sellable price. So I've bought a pack of 100 of it for the fraction of the price you would pay for a full A4 size cardstock. So that was a really good investment because it's a very sturdy cardstock and it's got this nice shimmery effect, yet because it's a little bit smaller than the regular size, it was just sold for next to nothing. I can't remember how much it exactly was, but it was more than half of the price you would pay for an A4 size card. So I'm also having a few stencils because I want to use this shimmery spray through them as well, and my Nouveau embellishment mousse, which was the prize I won in the craft world. So I really love it, and I just cannot, like, you know, not use it on my projects. One thing I want to point you at, can you see I've also opened that minute ago, but I'm using the cling film to cover my open products. This prevents them from drying out, and it's really inexpensive to buy yourself a roll of the cling film, and you can, every time you open the embossing paste or crackle paste or any other medium you're not using every day, this is what I like to do, and it's really prolonged the life like double. I also have some glitz pearlescent glues, which I think I will add a little bit sparkle. And to finish, for some final touches, I have those Nouveau drops, and I also have this pearl pen from the Viva Decor and the golden one as well. I'm not sure which one I will use later on. I will check. And the ribbons, I've got this 2 color matching ribbons, and I also have some lacy one as well. This one was actually a present from my mom. She bought me a couple different colors of them, so I think I'll use it definitely for the card. And I've got the white lace as well. So that's plenty of stuff. I have all my desk is just absolutely, like, you know, cover in the craft materials, because as I say, I want to make the card super special. I will speed up everything, so the video won't be like 10 hours long, but I hope you will enjoy it. And yeah, so enjoy the watching. Have a lovely day. Bye bye. I just wanted to mention that I placed a very heavy coat of the hairspray on the front panel, and that actually made the paper warping. So what I did, I just placed the both pieces underneath the stack of a heavy book for around like 5 minutes, and they were ready to go. Once adding this green Nouveau embellishment mousse, I am trying to put it on the same position on my little oval die cut piece. So once I place one on top of another, this pattern will look continuously. Now it's time to make some leaves. I am cutting them out from the white cardstock and I will spray them with my handmade sprays, and then I will use the glitz glue to add a little bit texture to them, and finally I will add the golden shimmer spray which I was showing you on my last video tutorial. And of course, as always, I wouldn't be able to finish the card if I wouldn't have a wonderful help from my beautiful baby boy. To add even more interest and dimension to my project, I am adding this gold beautiful modeling cream from the Viva Decor. I really like it because it's got this beautiful shininess and it's just looking lovely. And it's just adding that extra bling to the card, making look it really special. I am adding this texture from the glitz glue to my leaves, And once I use the heat tool on top of that, it creates this beautiful bubbly effect, which it's really enhancing the leaves, and it just make them pop and look even more like natural. And finally I am adding a little bit that golden shimmer, and I will shape them in my hands, just squeeze them a little bit and just give them a little more natural look. Once I am recording this voiceover, it's already one day after my mom's birthday. She received her card and she was absolutely delighted with it. And now another thing I want to mention is that I actually create a very similar card for my mom 4 years ago. I can't really say it's similar because the complexity of this card comparing to the one I've made 4 years ago is just beyond. But it's similar concept. I use the same like pink and green color scheme because my mom really likes it. I know she's all about the flowers and the spring, feel. So that was a very similar idea behind the card. And I will add the photos at the end of the video to show you. And I am mentioning this because I have this thought, like for last couple of some time I wasn't feeling that my crafting is like really improving or I'm getting better with it. But now it actually, what happened is on the morning when my mom, she's having her birthday, I posted the wishes on Facebook with a card, and Facebook has made me reminder with the photo of the card. And I just look on it comparing to the card I've made now, and I just thought to myself, wow, Marta, you really made that progress. You can't see it on everyday basis, but when you look on your projects from the past, it's really changed. Your techniques are much more advanced. You know how to do better flowers. They're just not the flat die cut shapes. Same with the leaves and other things like composition wise or adding the texture. And you really learn a lot. And I just want to say that because sometimes some of you may actually feel the same way, that you're not getting as good result as you wish to. Because I quite often I am guilty of that I'm watching like video tutorials of some wonderful artists, and I'm just thinking like, oh gosh, they're so skilled, they're so talented, and I'm just like nothing like that, and I'm never gonna learn myself something to jump onto next level. But then when I look on comparison on the both cards, one from 4 years before and now, which I made now, I can see that I really made that big progress. So if you ever feel that I'm saying you're not having as much progress, just open your drawers or photos. If you don't have the cards you've made in the past, just have a look and compare them with the one you're making now, and you will see instantly that you really boost your crafts. You just don't see it on everyday basis. So that was my thought I wanted to share with you, and I will add all the photos on the end of the video so you could see what was the card I've made 4 years ago and the one I've made now, and have a look for yourself. And you definitely, I'm sure you made the progress as well, and you can pat yourself in the arm and says, well done, you really made it. I cut myself a few flowers from the foamy run. It was just a free hand, nothing fancy. I wasn't even paying too much attention of the shape of the flowers. It's just 4 petals on the square base. I use my iron just to add a little bit heat, so it will help me to shape the flower, and I'm just using a couple of the flower shaping tools to make the flower looking more natural. And I will be adding those yellow stamens in the middle of the flower centers, so this will be additional flowers to the three larger one I've already made before, and that will help me to fill the card, so it will be nice floral arrangement. I am using exactly the same trick I did in one of the cards I've made in the past. I am adding this lovely lace to the side of my front panel. That way I am actually keeping both. I am adding that interest and additional ribbon to my front panel, yet I am not covering this beautiful background piece I created using all this stenciling and embellishment mousse and dimensional pastes. So here's my lovely baby coming to help me again, but this is actually the time to put him on a nap, so I will return to the cart once he will go to sleep. And I put my son for his nap. I had to make a quick trip to the shop, and then I found this gorgeous Alta New Volume 1 magazine. I'm not sure what's inside yet because I am waiting for my day off after my shift so I could make a little opening video and some review and probably some lovely project. But from knowing the Alta New products, I'm already happy, and I know it will be something super super gorgeous over there. So I just cannot wait to, I will have another a couple hours of free time I could do it, but I will definitely make a video on that one as well. So if you're interested and you want to see this box card making kit review, just sign up to my channel and you're definitely not gonna miss it. I really like the effect I achieved by adding those half pearls to the both sides. And as I mentioned before, when I was adding this green paste, I was trying to make it in a similar places on the both, like a oval die cut shape and the front panel, so they will match. Now I will be stacking the letters together. I have 3 of each, and I will make it a little bit more sturdy, almost like a chipboard letter effect. And once I have them glued together, I will add them to the oval shape die cut frame I've got prepared. The sign here, it's in Polish, it says 100 lat, and this is our way to say like a happy birthday. In exact translation, it actually means 100 years, but we use it the same way as you say happy birthday. Now it's time to shape my leaves a little bit. I am squishing them in my fingers and then just make them look more realistic. And once they're ready, I will start to arranging my front panel, and I will stack all the elements using a hot glue gun. I couldn't decide between the pink and the green color ribbon, so I finally used the gold one. I shape it in my finger and I used the florist wire to keep it together. I've also decided to change the sentiment a little bit. This is a 4th day of me recording that video and I'm just start feeling like some film director. I've changed the sentiment from saying happy birthday to to best mom into the happy birthday to a best mom and a granny, because I've decided the card is from all of us, and now my mom, it's not only my mom but she's also a granny to our lovely son. So I've decided that this sentiment will be more appropriate and matching for this card. So it's the evening of the same day. I have this front panel finished, and now I just need to work on the inside part of my card. I will be making an easel card, so I am planning to use exactly the same idea for the inside of the card. Of course, it's not gonna be as dimensional, and I'm not gonna be using a same amount of embellishment, but I just want to keep it in the same style, have this lace die cut added on both sides, and just make it looks matching the front panel. As I am putting my inside panel together, you can see I have this little strip of the pink color pattern paper which I use at the beginning. And this is my tip for you if you ever making any like handmade background papers. Keep yourself a little extra piece of the paper and do it in a similar way, because that way you have this gorgeous finishing touch for the inside of your card. Because if you would be just about to recreate the same style, it will be harder for you, because once you will have to take all of your embellishment mousses or inks or sprays, whatever you're using, you will have to take it out again a second time, and it's much harder to recreate the style than creating as you go. So I always like to keep an extra a little bit on the side, and just to once I am creating and dyeing my front panel and use, I don't know, like a smooshing technique or spray it or stenciling, I always like to keep a little extra piece, so that way I have something ready to go on the inside of the card as well. I am adding this lacy ribbon to the same left side of the panel, and I am just trying to recreate the look, so that will be continuously style pattern on both sides, outside and this little bottom area of the inside of my card. I am adding this gold strip in between the white area and this little panel I have for the inside of my card, and that way it could act as a stop for my easel card. Whenever I am making those nice card, I am trying for them to be freestanding, because that way whoever will receive the card could nicely display it if they would like to. Another way to make a card stand nicely, apart from making it as a easel card, is to do the card which has the top opening, which is open from the top rather than sideways. But as I'm saying, the easel card is just the best idea according to me. I don't know, maybe there's some other one. If you know another techniques to make the card stand nicely, just let me know in the comments. But I really enjoy making those easel cards, because if whoever will receive it and they would like to keep it on the shelf, that way they could display it nicely. So I am adding those two strips on the side. I've just checked whether they have the same width. So as I'm saying, the pattern will be continuously on the both sides. I am gonna skip the part with this half pearls on the inside of the card, because that way the card won't, will be too bulky, and it's not gonna be fit the box. And I am using also the same golden frame. It's just this way I am just putting it in a horizontal orientation, but it's exactly the same one as I use on a front panel. And I'm also having this lattice window die from the Creative Expression, and I print myself a little sign in Polish also, because my mom does not speak English very well. So I've just put the sign saying that the best birthday wishes, and I will also add later on a little bit wishes to the inside of this oval die cut frame. But I am trying to make the easel card now. The best idea is to score it in the middle of the front panel and just enforce the line, and then I will glue the front panel to the bottom part of the card I just created. And now it's my biggest disappointment of the card. I should know it better, but there's nothing I can do about that. And I've just made it too long, because I never thought about that. I should know better, but it's mistakes happen. I just used the same size of the front panel as on the inside, when I should actually make it like 2-3 millimeters shorter, because the inside panel needs to be a little bit smaller for the card to close nicely. However, it was easy fix. I just trimmed this top part a little bit, and it's not going to be visible as much, but that way I've made myself another lesson which I have to remember, so that for the next time whenever I'll be making an easel card, I need to change the measurements for the inside just teeny tiny bit. Good morning, my friends. It's me back again, just to quickly show you this beautiful card I finished for my mom. So I hope she will enjoy it, and yeah. So here we go. I finished it last night, but I thought I'll give you a glance on the morning, because the fake light doesn't really show off all this sparkliness and shininess I have from so many gold elements I use. I love those flower elements, and I'm really proud of how the card turned out. I've printed some wishes, and there's a little like a strip, so the card is freestanding on its own. It's like a easel card, so it will be easy to display on a shelf or something. And yeah, so this was my project for today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel and leave me some comment below on the cards you would like to see. Thank you so much. I wish everyone a wonderful day. Stay blessed, Marta. And here is some close-up look on a card I've just created and the one I've made 4 years ago. And I am really astonished of how I improve over the past 4 years. If it comes for the flower making and leaves and all the embellishment and adding some texture and just the advancedity of the card I am able to create. So I'm hoping you enjoyed the video and you didn't mind the videos being so long. I wish you all a wonderful day and a lots of joy while crafting. Stay blessed, Marta.